What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content related to helping you grow your app downloads and, more importantly, those revenues, like I say, week in and week out. Welcome to our Friday YouTube stream. We go live every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, so make sure you join live. Or if you can't listen, or if you can't watch, you'd rather listen, well, make sure you subscribe to that podcast by going to appmasters.com/iTunes or finding us on any of your favorite podcast platforms. And today we're going to talk a little bit about iOS 16, those features, and then we're also going to talk about some of the pitfalls that you got to avoid when you're developing your app. I'm in a hotel room, if you can't tell, but I went to the App Promotion Summit. I spoke there about the monetization tricks that we have in the academy, but it was a great event. App Promotion Summit, they're going to do one in Berlin in December, but shout out to James and his team. Great event, and it speaks volumes to meeting people in person. This guy I've been trying to convince before we went live to meet in person, but longtime sponsor of the show, longtime friend of the show. Super excited if you're looking for an app development firm to really help you out and scale and develop the right features without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a useless app. Well, this is the guy I recommend. It is b7dev.com, and representing B7Dev, it is Chaim. Welcome back, Chaim.
Hi, Steve. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm great, my friend. So always good. This is like our quarterly check-in or semi-annual check-in. We check in all the time. So Chaim, I wanted to talk to you about, since you're more of the technical guy, what are some of the exciting iOS 16 features that you're like, hey man, these are things that I'm really looking forward. We think it's going to help you get maybe an Apple feature. We think it's going to help your apps retention, monetization, all that jazz. What are the features that you're most excited about
Yeah,
for
well,
iOS 16?
they just released the iOS 16. Is a very advanced package of features and features and features, more than 400 new features.
Yeah.
But mostly the three more important ones that for the development side of you, because you know that most of features are proprietary to them. You cannot touch those things. But what they, yes, do allow for us developers to play with, there are three very exciting points that I want to remark here. The first of everything, the most important thing is the walkie-talkie function that you can play with the API. It's called
Whoa.
push
Okay.
to talk. So you can, like a WhatsApp that you are recording messages, sending to the other side. They are enable this. It's called push to talk, and it's just released on OS 16. Okay, so any kind of reminder, any kind of communication, voice communication, but built into the OS. You don't need external servers. You don't need it all. You just need to work with the API built in. Okay. Of course, that the phone is important to remark. The device should be updated to OS 16. Okay. The second thing that I want to remark here is a very interesting thing that is called the weather kit. You can add real-time weather data from the Apple weather app into your app. Okay. For example, we were talking with a customer that works with an app for golf courses and etc. That if he's listening now, he will be reminding this, and he wanted to add weather live information for advising the players about the weather conditions at the fields and golf courses. But you can mix and match weather information into local recommendations or forecasts, etc., etc., also included in OS 16. The third one, with every OS release, is getting more and more and more elaborated. And honestly, I don't see a lot of developers harnessing this, okay, leveraging this power is the machine learning toolkit. Okay, the machine learning toolkit is really improved on this. What it means that you can work with machine learning. I mean, all kind of machine learning, artificial intelligence applications, okay, built into the phone. You don't need to call an external phone. You don't need to hire an external guy that is a specialist on machine learning. You can start playing with that at the phone itself, okay? So you can recognize images from pictures, text from pictures, sounds, words, from audio messages, from songs. You can analyze information. I mean, there is a whole new kit of improvements. And again, I'm not seeing new apps harnessing this for iOS only. Okay, but this is really great because you can do a lot of smart things on the app. So those are my three picks from the list of more of 400 new features on iOS 16.
What about the lock screen? Anything in that we as developers have to know about with the customization? That's all I'm seeing on the internet and social media, Chaim, where it's like this new lock screen is
Yeah,
so
but it's
amazing.
not new to OS 16. It's just improved. They just improved the widgets and the approach that they are using. Of course, that with every new release, they are giving more and more fine tuning to that. But it's not. I mean, it was already on 14 and 15. I remember the new lock screen.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. So let's move on to our main topic. I want to say hi to Ricardo. What's happening, my friend? Luke, good to see you. Fod, hey. Adrian, good to see you. Adrian, there's some people from Ireland, Scotland, UK that were at the event, man. You should have been there. Taha, good to see you, man. Cool. I'm hoping to go out to Europe for one of these events. I haven't gone to the event. I'm just like super energized. And it's just so different to meet people in person. And then Hasta La Vista just said hi. What's happening? All right, Chaim, let's get to some of the pitfalls. So what would you say is the number one pitfall that app developers make when developing their app, their idea into an app?
But you know, when I talk with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that thanks to the show and thanks to the podcast and thanks to we have so many years on the market that they call me and they tell me about the idea. So the first problem that I see is they don't know what is the scope of the first version, the first MVP, the first version. Okay, so the idea is not to do it not too small for the people not to feel a difference and not too big. I mean, if you create a monster, I mean, could be good for a first version, but it will take a long time to develop and a lot of money. You need to understand what is the sweet spot between not a very small thing and a very big thing. Okay, so basically what you need to do is go and focus on the main idea, the main problem you want to solve. Go for that. Okay, show to the people that you can solve or entertain them in a unique way. Okay, and start growing from there. And then don't do it too much, small that they say I can do this with another app. Okay, you need to get into the right point where it's not too small for this and not too big for that.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's also important to do a little bit of market research just to make sure that there's an idea there, that there's a market to tap into. I'm trying to put together a case study and I just want more revenues coming out of this case study. But like, how do you build an app that ultimately is a six-figure business? But one of the case studies we have is like doing a lot of extensive keyword research, figuring out if we can rank for that keyword, and then building an app around a keyword versus an idea too. But I like what you said. Hey, make sure you understand what's the main problem you're solving. All right, we have 7.
The second one
so what's the
is
next
kind
one?
of funny. Better look stupid and obvious than too much complicated. Okay, explain your idea in a very, very, I mean, stupid proof way. Don't over elaborate and try to be super smart because I mean, I'm not super smart. I'm very stupid. So I want to understand on the first side, the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I want to understand the idea. Okay, go for that. Don't it's later when you have feedback from the people. You have a proven system that works and etc. Start to complicate that. Start to do advanced features. In the beginning, just you need to do it. Like they all say, keep it simple, stupid. Okay, that's the way that should be a first version of this.
Yeah.
Okay, later you will have time and more budget and more experience to do more advanced things.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, what's the next one?
The next one is something related, very much related to what you do, That is, when you are planning for the app, don't forget to earmark money for the marketing. Okay, the app could be really super duper fantastic. If no one knows that you have this super app, it's worth zero. Okay, so you need to reserve some money, even to pay Steve to tell you how to promote it in a guerrilla way or something that will be really convenient for you. But always remember to save money aside or to calculate as a big part of your budget money for marketing. Okay, not just for developing the app and then $0 for the marketing. Always remember this is very, very, very important. Okay, I've seen super apps that no one knows. Why? Because they were really good technically speaking, and they think that okay, we finished the app, that's it. Okay, why we are not millionaire by now? Because you didn't do any marketing. Okay, you need to compete again against millions and millions of apps every day. Okay, so you need to remember that marketing is as important as the development itself.
I'm so glad you said that and not me, because I experience that all the time. A lot of the developers we work with that are collaborative, that they hire you to make it, and we come there, and then they're like, you know what? Maybe it's not always the case that they come. Anyways, I've heard it from many people. Hey, I spent it all, right? And I think of every business. You have to think of every business as a funnel. Like, all right, how am I going to get the downloads? How am I going to get the traffic? How am I going to convert them? And of that percentage, how much am I going to charge? And it's that simple. And too many times we focus on building the product and not enough on how we're going to get to market it. And I think for these days, it's less about like, I don't know, I'm just kind of like, I think ASO is getting harder and harder, that kind of like SEO in a way, but like I'm also thinking paid acquisition just needs to be a part of the channel. Like on launch, you need some paid acquisition. And I almost feel like if I had to pick one over the other, I'd rather invest in paid acquisition versus like even ASO at this point, from what I've seen. So unless you start with the keywords and you build that app, but I almost want to start with the acquisition too. Okay.
Okay, the
Hold
fourth
on one
point.
second. I do want to ask you something. I want to say hi to a few more people too. If I say hi to some people, they end up saying more hi in the comments. So I like that. All right. Nikhil, what's happening from India? And then we've got Ali from India, or I don't know, Ali. I'm sorry, I made that assumption. I was just reading Nikhil's. But Ali, good to see you, my friend. I actually wanted to, before you go on the fourth one, maybe this is part of the seven, but what are the right trade-offs when you're developing the app? You're like, Chaim, I really need this feature versus I really need this feature. How do you advise somebody who like wants it all, and to make sure that they have the right trade-offs between what they think they want to build and what you think is the right things to build?
Okay, the process goes like this. They present to me a very long list of features. Okay, so I start. Okay, so I start
Sorry.
telling them, look, this is very nice, but this will cost this amount of money, a lot, and then this will
Mm,
take this amount of time, of weeks of development, months, etc. That is a lot. Okay, so first of all, you understand that it's a cure. When you start the process, the customer is really super crazy happy with all the process. Happens the same to you. I contacted Steve. Steve told me that he will prepare everything, but you tell, okay, but this is taking time. Okay, it's not the from the
mm-hmm.
today for tomorrow. Okay, so the one day to another. So the excitement is really high now that we just started the process. Then the process gets longer and longer, and then the enthusiasm starts getting down. Okay, so what I tell to them is, let's do short sprints. Okay, is the language that is used. Sprints is the language that is used at the development jargon. Okay, small rounds of development and release a version. And then what is the basics? Again, point number one, what is the app, what the app needs to do first? What is the problem that we are solving? Then let's focus on that. Let's focus on it. Let's focus on trying to solve this problem and release. Then we will be able to add more features and more features and more features. For me, I charge by the hour. So for me, the more
Mm-hmm.
features you add, the better. But again, I need to talk with the customer almost every day or every 2, 3 days or every week and telling him, okay, we are on this, I mean, reporting what the advancement is. So we are on this place and this place and this place. So I need to keep the user knowing, the customer knowing that we have a version. He can count on the store. He can track metrics, engagement, receiving feedback from the people. So ideally, the trade-off is between cost, feature importance, and time to deliver. Okay, we need to get, I mean, for every customer is different. I have customers that they tell me, I don't have any problem, I have 2 years to develop the app. Other
Mm-hmm.
customers, they say me, I have 3 months to develop the app, 6 months, 8 months, nine, depending on the personality. I mean, it's like an investment. So it's depending on this. The question is, what is working best for you as an entrepreneur to understand that first of all, you need something that you will have on the market, on the stores, receive. You can show to potential investors, you can get users, you can increase the user base, you can receive feedback, etc., etc. Another point, and the last one, is remember that the bigger the app, the most potential issues of bug will have. Every new feature opens the window for new bugs, okay, for the whole app or the whole system. So I would say that going step by step is the best approach for everyone, psychologically, emotionally, and money-wise. Okay, going step by step, small versions, short versions, no more than 1-2 months, and release a new version. And then, other than you have a big company and you can say, okay, I will play with that. Give me 6 months. We will fully test it several times with several people, and then we will see. We will remake. But this is for big companies. For small companies, go small but steady. Okay, this is my 2 cents on this, in order to
Yeah.
keep it tracked, and also under the belt for budget wise. Okay.
Yeah. This is why I love having you, because we try to speak the truth, even if it's bad for our business. Like you said, hey, you want all these features? I'm gonna bill you for an hour. I'm happy to build you all these features, but I want you to succeed. And so, it's kind of like, I love what you said. Take it step by step. What are the core features? And the thing that got me thinking the most was, biggest takeaway for me, Chaim, was the bugs. The more features you build, the more bugs you end up having. So if you take it one step at a time, you find all the bugs and you crush them.
Honestly, we did that. We did big systems. The customer was super happy in the beginning, then started to get angrier and angrier and angrier. We have more
Yeah.
bugs. Okay, we solved the bugs. Okay, now new features. Okay, those features bring more bugs, and then we fix that. And then, okay, let's release to the market. No, I need, because there is
Yeah.
a long conversation. There is a long conversation on this. The You need to have a special character to succeed on this industry, because there is already WhatsApp. Why? How can I compete against WhatsApp
Hmm.
if they are so big? I don't know. You have a different approach. Maybe what is succeed? If you make it financially viable, you succeeded. Okay. No, because I need 30,000 features to compete against. My first version should compete against WhatsApp. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's specific for a group of people that will work better. Okay, WhatsApp is a big company. They play with big WhatsApp, Google, Facebook, you name it. Big companies, they play with the big numbers. Okay, but it's still there is play or room for more entrepreneurs doing different stuffs. WhatsApp was not the first communication app. They just did something simple and small, and they started small. Okay, then they evolved to something different, but they released something really simple to do. Okay, so what you need to do is to be different and to market better. Okay, you don't need to be a giant to play with them. Okay, your idea, your way of working, your approach should be different and better than those companies, and then you can play with them.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And I like to start small too. So like back to my ASO strategy, like what are the keywords that I know can go up? So like if I think about sleep sounds or meditations, do I start with breathing exercises? Do I start with deep breathing? Do I start with pace breathing? So if I am the smaller guys, I start with the very bottom, because the big guys, are going after meditation. I'm going to start at the very bottom, build that base, reinvest, and then start going up, because eventually I'll get to meditations, but I want to start with deep breathing or pace breathing first. And so I'll lead to that point. Hey, if you're not in Walnut Creek, man, we should meet soon. You should have been at that event, bro. But I'm out in Danville. But he said, how do you compete with companies or apps that have millions of dollars in paid acquisition versus us smaller guys? And I think, that's the way I would compete, go after these smaller keywords that they're not paying attention to.
Again, what is competing is to for everyone to leave that app and go to your app, or competing is starting with an app, starting growing slowly, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then succeeding financially, just for a start, okay. If you can earn more than what you spend, it's already a success. Okay, then
Yeah.
you need to think how to grow from there. I mean, even the big sharks, they didn't do it one day to another. They started in the same way, okay, with the same concept. It's impossible to open a pizza parlor because you have big sharks with or a coffee shop because you have Starbucks all around the world. But yet, small coffee shops, they still make a living, okay, and then still can compete and grow from that. That's the idea. You are doing exactly the same. You are doing a different approach. Okay, it's just the whole difference. I mean, we need to understand what means to succeed in the market. Okay, staying alive is already succeeding. Okay,
Yeah.
they even they did about the same.
Yeah. I like it. Okay, Chaim. I think we're at number 4 now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But
number four. Okay,
all right.
this is very, 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 yeah, very much related now to my side of the question that the customers usually make us is who owns the code? Okay, uh, uh, yeah, I mean, the answer is the customer.
Right.
Never, 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 under no reason, agree with a developer that says that you need to pay again for the code, for them to release the code, for them to release some information. I mean, if you paid for the work, for example, my customers paid us to make the development, to make the engineering, and that's the time that they pay. So the work, the final work after they paid, is belongs to them. Doesn't belong to me as a developer. Okay, I cannot reuse that. I cannot resell that. I cannot tell him, okay, now if you want the code, you need to pay a ransom for that. The code always belongs to the customer after he paid for that. Okay, you are paying for my time. I need to give you the product.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never, never, never allow a customer. This is one of the first things you need to ask to a development company or one developer: who owns the code? Anything different than the customer is a no-go, it's a red flag, okay? Because you are paying for that work. It's not that you are sharing, other than you having a different agreement when you are partners or something like this. But if you pay for development, you need to get the code at the end of the work. You need to the code uh, under no circumstances accept something different. Okay, it's very, very, very important. We rescue other apps, other startups that they had issues with the previous developers, that they didn't want to release the code. Is
Yeah.
something that is a horror story. You paid thousands of dollars for something that even don't belong to you. It's like buying a car and the car is not yours. Buying a
Yeah.
house and the house is not yours. Okay, it's crazy. But this is one of the first questions that you need to do to the developers. Okay.
Yep. I've heard the same. They're like, I can't get the code, right? Make sure Hyman's team do a great job of that. Make sure you put it on Bitbucket. I know there's other ones out there, but some deposit, I think they're called repository. What do they call it, Chaim? But
Repository. Yeah, code repository.
code repository. So make sure you get your developer to upload it so that you can download it. And if you need a new developer, whatever the case may be, that code is yours in the future. Hey, Chaim, I want to save the last 2 points, 5 and 6. No, we have 3 more points. I want to save it
Yeah.
for a little bit. I want to make sure
Okay.
we have time for the audits as well. That's all right with you. Okay. And maybe
Sure.
you can interweave some of the points as we get into the app audit. But
Sure.
you're my favorite guest to do this on. But we like to start off every app audit with some. All right. How about this? We'll play for this. All right, Chaim. If I lose, I will pay for coffee with Ollie. Ollie and I are gonna meet up. He's in Walnut Creek right now. If you win, Ollie's wait, no. If you win, yeah, if I win, Ollie, you pay. All right, there we go. We'll do it that way. So you're playing for on behalf of Ollie. Ollie, you cannot vote. All right. So put C if you thought Chaim's joke was better. Put S if you thought my joke was better. Chaim, you want to lead off or you want me to lead off?
I can start.
Okay.
Okay. So what kind of theater do cows enjoy?
What?
What kind of shows the cows enjoy?
Oh, what kind of shows do cows enjoy?
Yeah, musicals.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, fine. Sticking on the cow joke. All right. Let me make sure I got the right one. All right, I got the right one. I like that one better. Okay, here we go. Chaim, what kind of magazines do cows read?
I don't know.
Catalogs.
Oh, it's more like a... Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Well, let's get into Luke's question first, and then we'll hit the app. I'm sorry?
Let the people decide.
Let the people decide. Come on, people. It's on, it's a big time. Ollie and I are competing each other. So put C if you thought Chaim's joke was better, and put S if you thought my joke was better. Let's get into that first app audit. Now, if you want us to take a look, just go fill out the form. I try to get 1 or 2 a week because I want a long list, but appmasters.com/audit, appmasters.com/audit. And our first one, Chaim, it's kind of hard not working off my real system, iMac system, just this laptop. All right, we've got Matthew, who's got this app, this musician that I will show, and he wants feedback on the store and IAP page. So I've been trying to get let's take a look at Matthew's app. I'll bring it up real quick. There it is. Chaim, I'll let you lead it off. Is there anything from the... Here, I'll try to zoom in. That way we can see it all on one screen on my tiny little MacBook. But is there anything from the App Store presence that you kind of want to highlight?
Yeah, I would like the screenshots to explain the process. I mean, I see the core of the app, that is the finger position, etc. Mm-hmm. But I will explain more about how to get into the core. Okay, there is some kind of tutorial. I don't know. Looks like the design is nice for someone that is already understand. I think that is the target anyway. For musicians, okay, but I would like to see more about the process of how we get there, the onboard screen and etc.
Yeah, I agree. Matthew, if your last name is free, that's insane. That's pretty cool. Unless you're just trying to have the word free in your developer name, but that's pretty cool. I know people used to have like free top games as their developer name for ASO. But anyways, I agree with Chaim. I mean, he said perfectly. I have no idea what the app does. Now, granted, I may not be the right audience for you, but at the same time, if I am the right audience and I put fingering charts, let's try to say that really fast, fingering charts, and I find your app, you want to regurgitate the main keyword in your first screenshot. So you want to say number 1 or comprehensive fingering charts, the musician's notebook, and then explain. You're kind of just telling me this is a wasted first screen. I have no idea. The text is tiny here, what you're trying to do here. I actually don't like these overlaps anymore. And the reason I don't like it is given now Apple is allowing us to do A/B testing on screenshots, I want the flexibility without having to go to my designer to be like, let's just swap these two in there. So I think you need to do much more work when it comes to your screenshots here.
Yeah, for example, if you see here, we see those screens, or part of those screens. Those should be at the beginning. Okay?
Yeah, right here. Pick every. Yep. I'm just laughing at fingering. What am I, like a teenage boy? Okay, I want to look up the keyword fingering real quick just to see fingering charts, if there's any type of traffic on there. Because if there is, I don't know why it's not in the title and why musician's notebook. Maybe that's the right keyword that he's going after. And so maybe that's the title that he should have. But let's see if he ranks well for fingering charts. Okay, so it looks like There's some traffic for this. I just want to see if there's some traffic volume. Yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. Looks like. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. What about musicians? Musician notebook.
Learning music or something like this.
Yeah, might be too competitive though. There's a lot of that. There's like a lot of learn guitar. Okay, so he's number one. That's pretty good. But I'm gonna assume since you're number one and you don't have a lot of reviews, that it probably doesn't have as much traffic as well. You know what might be interesting too. I'm looking through these ASOs like there's some keywords around like violin tuner, right? Trombone. Everybody focuses on the guitar stuff and then not enough on these other maybe less popular apps. But I think there's a market for this. And if I were building an app that was a guitar tuner, I might also think about trombone and cello tuners, all this, because it might be a better market. I don't know. I'm just kind of
you
brainstorming here as I'm looking at this.
Yeah, you don't lose anything if you try.
Yeah. That's a teaser, huh? Yeah, so there might be something here with the violin and all that stuff. Okay, let's take a look at the app. So I'm gonna switch my share screens real quick. All right. Oh yeah, cool. All right, thank you, Melon. This is way easy. All right, let's do this. Open the app. Not as cool with the crazy backgrounds anymore, but all right. Can you see me moving the app at all?
No.
Is it's just stuck?
Not me.
Yeah, okay. Try again.
That was black?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now you see it.
Yeah.
Here's the onboarding screen.
Yeah.
Welcome to Notebook, your source for comprehensive figuring charts. Pick any note. It feels long. I had one client, Chaim, that went from 7 screens on the onboarding process to 4, and he saw an increase in conversions. So this one has 7 too, and it feels kind of long.
If works in the favor of this app, it's very much specialized. So the people that knows what the app does, or the musicians, maybe they will like the level of detail that this developer is presenting. Okay. I mean, it's not. I mean, if you don't know anything about music, it's too long, right? But for someone that will work on this, maybe it's good enough. Maybe a skip button will work also, that you can skip.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna go long, the right way to go long is to engage the audience, right? Nobody wants to, like, if I'm doing a presentation, I got to get the audience to engage, because if I just talk, nobody wants to hear it. Even the best speakers, unless you're like a stand-up comedian, like they're just, nobody's going to keep that interest for that long. So I think the right way to do it is like, what is your favorite music? What kind of instrument do you play? Get users to engage. And we've actually seen an increase in subscriptions when you get users to engage. And I have a new onboarding flow that I've seen where during the onboarding process, the app, what it does is, there's an app that's going to be, we're doing this app review soon, but during the onboarding flow, it's asking questions, but it's also showing social proof. It has like testimonials. And so that video is coming up soon, but just for those who are tuning in, that's the way to do it. Like if you want an onboarding, get them to engage, and then put some testimonials and all that jazz too. All right.
Anyways, Steve, adding a small skip button, maybe that will work also, if you want to jump. I mean, to avoid the intro.
So I'm going to disagree with you, Chaim. I actually would not do a skip button. I just don't, because I want people to go through the process. Like when I'm looking at fitness apps, they don't have that, because they want you to go through that. And then the other app that I'm about to review that's making really good money, it's called Lucid, but they don't have a skip button either. It is a long process. You just have to go through it. So Matthew, what's missing is for me to upgrade, like I don't know where it is. And I know you're probably thinking, hey, Steve, they can use it for 14 days and then they can upgrade. But most people who buy will buy during this onboarding process. So you got to show your paywall during the onboarding flow. Granted, yes, they have 14 days to try to do it. I don't care. You want to show that paywall and you want to have trials. I feel pretty adamant about this. During that onboarding screen, you want to have trials. Now, after the onboarding, if you just put up here at the very top of, and I can't move my screen, but at the very top where the 1, 2, 3, I want to show only 14 days left. You can do that. And then if that upgrade has no trial, that's okay. But I would still put a trial on the onboarding for this app. And that'll make you more money. Done, Matthew. Thank me later. You buy the coffee for Ollie and I. All right. Anything else you want to talk about here, Chaim?
No, that I was just listening to. I mean, it's very interesting to see. Yeah, good point. To remember always to put the option to opt in or to purchase the app subscription during this process. But really good point.
All right. Let's keep score. All right, Chaim. You keep score for yourself. That's Chaim S 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. Ricardo, how dare you? 4-2, 4-3, 4-4. Oh no, we need one more. Armando, you screwed up everything. You screwed up everything. We need one more vote. Tiebreaker. Come on, guys. If you didn't vote, don't vote twice. But if you didn't vote, who didn't vote? Let's see. Let me go through. Matthew, you didn't vote. Or Luke, you didn't vote. So you better vote. Otherwise, okay, thank you. There it is. Thank you, Luke. My man. All right, Luke. So I win round 1. Voting done. I win round 1. All right. Luke says, I think there's a danger with MVPs. If I bounce out of an app, delete it because it's not as good as competing apps, won't that be worse for app metrics than not getting the download at all? That's a great question.
The idea is, I mean, what is the other option to do an MVP? I mean, the option is to do a very long and big app that it will take a lot of time and money to develop. If you have that, okay, go with it. Usually what most developers prefer to do is try to prove the concept, try to get feedback from users, okay? But I mean, different strokes for different folks, you know. It's like if you're a big company, you work in a different from a different position. You already have a lot of marketing because you're a big company. Okay, they are already expecting something. You already have a customer base. It's different for someone that is trying to break out, okay, at the market. So they are starting small. Again, different approaches. No
well,
approach is yeah.
This leads you to your, maybe we skip ahead to your last point of your 7 tips, 7 pitfalls to avoid. I mean, I think this answers Luke's question. I agree with this too.
Sure. The last point was the point number 7 was feel free to fail. That is the best way to learning. Okay. Sometimes there's so much pressure to not to fail that the best way. I mean, usually you heard about Google failing on one product, Facebook failing on one product, Amazon, etc., etc. They don't have any problem in telling you this product didn't work well. Okay, so we are scrapping that, or we are taking this part and repurposing it for a different one. Okay, this is the best way to learning. There is no way to have the exact formula, the precise formula to create something, not a song, not a TV show, not an app, okay, not a car that is already 100% guaranteed that will work. Okay, so the next time try to fail less or try to use your experience to make something better. Okay, it's not a shame to fail. Just relax and keep working and moving on.
Yeah, I agree. And to answer Luke's question, look, if they delete your app, that's fine, right? Like you have other people. It's just one person, and they might find another one, and they might just love that app, right? and so they might go to the next app. But you have more opportunities as long as you can fix that. And that's, Facebook, all these big guys weren't perfect in the very beginning. And I think there's been some cases where, I'll look at an app like, oh, that's so stupid, and then I'll come back like, why does everybody keep talking about this app? I'll come back and I'll start using that app again. So I think I agree with you, Chaim. Fail often. Don't run up your. I think what Chaim and I are trying to help you do is avoid spending so much money on trying to build a perfect product, and just learn. Like use that building the thing that you would have done to build it, spend it on marketing a little bit, then build more features, and then spend it on marketing, build more features, spend it on marketing, and go step by step.
There is no, basically, I don't know if someone knows that, but there is no formula for creating something that will have success. It's no formula to anything. Okay, I mean, you have already advantages in your back if you're a big company. Yeah. Because there's a difference between me creating an app and Apple creating an app. It's totally different. The people just will get to them to ask about this app, and to me, no one knows me, so no one will come to me. What is the new thing that you are preparing? Okay, so big companies, they have the marketing already done. They have why a big company buys a smaller company, because they already saw that the smaller company did something that worth the money. Okay, will add more value to his company. It's cheaper for them to buy something that works than to start from scratch. It's cheaper, way cheaper, because no one can tell you when the succeed. I mean, the succeed is about. I mean, there is no formula. Okay, so what you can do, and because of this, is something called experience. That they will ask you how many times you failed before you did this. Okay, I think that everyone knows the story about the studio that built the Angry Birds. How many games and versions and all kinds of stuff they did before Angry Birds. And Angry Birds was something like, okay, we just did it. They did not replicate Angry Birds. They cannot find something similar. I mean, they had it all. All the fame, all the everything. They cannot replicate it.
Yeah.
Candy Crush. What they did after Candy Crush.
All right, let's move on. Chaim.
They made it.
Yeah. You actually won, so I'm gonna give you round one. All right, Ali, give you round one. All right, you're playing for Ali. All right, let's get into. And Luke, what you can also do is you can launch in different countries. I think the market's big enough that I wouldn't be afraid of getting an app deletion. But if you're that cautious about it, I think the right way to do it also is maybe launch in different markets like tier 2, tier 3, and then move up to tier 1. All right, let's answer Johnny's question really fast. Johnny says, what is your opinion on building apps through no code or low code?
My opinion?
Yeah, what's your opinion on it?
It's a no-go, because you will spend some money, even a few bucks, in building something that cannot grow. Okay, let's suppose that worked. Okay, tell me one successful thing that was built on no code or low code.
I think it depends. If you just want to, it depends on your model. Look, if you're trying to build a really elegant, useful app, then you don't do that, right? I think no code, low code, very hard to do because it is glitchy and their support there's a lot of problems with going no code that I've already talked to other developers. But if it's just an MVP, or you're selling a course, or you're using the app to support a course, then maybe there are reasons to do this to save money on development. But I would say if it's going to be an app only, hey, this is how I'm going to monetize within the app, then I would prefer to not use low code. Like if I was talking to an influencer, and maybe they wanted a workout app for all the people that they already subscribe on the web, then maybe, right? Maybe, because you already have the funnel. You don't need downloads and they already love you, right? But if you're just relying on app revenues, maybe I personally wouldn't do it.
And a small caveat, at this stage, today, 2022, for me, it's a no. I don't know, in 2-3 more years, when the technology, make a jump, I don't know. In fact, we are building a lot of apps today in my company with React Native, but 2 years ago, we didn't touch it because it was not something good in our criteria. Okay, but They evolved and evolved and evolved. Up to today, you have a very solid platform. Okay, so today works. 2, 3 years ago, but with no code or low code today 2022, for me personally, is a no go. We will see in the future. Okay, so it's a ever evolving market. So.
Great answer. I like it. All right, let's see if we. I'm gonna try to end at 10. I got other things to do today that restricts my time. Nikhil, okay, Nikhil, it's the same Nikhil. All right, he's got an app that is calming sounds for kids. Here it is. All right. So, anything off of this that you want to talk about, Chaim?
The design looks pretty much nice.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, for calming sounds for kids looks really nice. Maybe my 2 cents is, if it's for kids, just do. I know what means kids. Kids is 2 years, 3 years old, or almost teens. Okay, this look like a more mature into the kids area. Those kind of illustrations, really nice illustrations, really professional illustrations. Maybe look for bigger kids and not for so small kids. Just that. Other than this, I like it very much. I will download this app based on those designs, but I'm an old guy, not a kid. Okay, so.
Yeah, I like it too. Okay, I want to do some keyword research for you. Man, this laptop is so tiny. It's working. Kids music. So I'm just worried that there's just not a lot of volume for kids. I like the kids market, and that speaks to what I was talking about earlier about the Nikhil, about making sure that you start, instead of going after calming sounds or sleep sound, you're going after calming sounds for kids. I think the problem is I don't know if there's enough volume for that particular term. Now in the future, Nikhil, if you're developing apps, you want to do some keyword research first, and then this developer code right here up top, you want to have the keywords that you want to target in there. So it could be Nikhil.calming.sounds.for kids. And then here you can start even the developer name, which you can easily change within Google. You want to have some keywords in there that are relevant to the keywords you're going after. So from the ASO perspective, with Google, they're always different. So what I would try to do is let's take a look if Moshi is here on Android. Yeah, it is. So I like to do this, like, for all the Android users out there or developers out there. If there's an app that is iOS only, then think about making something on Android that is interesting, because you can completely leverage that brand and gain traffic. I've heard from developers who've done that either for apps that are not available on iOS, only on Android, or vice versa. So from an ASO strategy, think about that too. All right, let's get into the app itself. Getting some feedback here. Apologize for the crazy background. Let me see if I can fix it. No, okay, okay. Whoa, okay. So he launches with just a paywall. Nikhil, you do not want to do this. You do not want to just have a paywall by itself like this. That should not be the first thing I see. Again, I apologize for those watching the video because the backgrounds, Nikhil's background is very similar to my background. But yeah, you do not want this. And you want to go longer. I like the pricing. Let's see if there's a 7-day trial. Yeah, there's no trial. So this is a bad, really bad onboarding. You want to remind people, just like the beautiful screenshots that you had on your, right here on your App Store page, you want to remind people of all the things that you have in your app, about 3 to 5 screens. Let them swipe, kind of like what we just did with Matthew's app. And then you show them the paywall. And even on this paywall, you want to have trials. We have a case study with one client who did it exactly like you did. He had an onboarding process, by the way, but he showed a paywall with no trial, and he was getting no sales whatsoever. We added the trials. We saw a 420% increase in sales, not activations, in sales after adding the trials. So super important because people don't want to commit to just paying you without using the app. So if you give them 7 days, they at least get 7 days to use the app, and then they can cancel if they don't want it. So yeah, I think the text here, the unlock all sounds, remove ads, it's too small. It's like you have such great designs and such great typology or something like that too, but this font is tiny compared to like the weight of the entire page. It's just so much empty space.
It's a very, very simple change that he has to do. Simply adding 4 screens of those nice screens, and then putting this, and then trial also. Okay, enabling a trial. It's not that hard to modify. Is what you are recommending is perfect.
Yeah. How long would that take, Chaim, from a development perspective?
I don't know, 2 days, 3 days maximum.
Cool.
Not a lot.
I like this ad at the bottom. I think what I would almost try to play around with is, look, Android users just are not going to pay. And I know it sucks because it's a kids app, but one of the things I would do is probably have that banner right here on the main page, right here. And then during the onboard.
Just a question. Do you see the language, the visual language talks to a kid or an adult?
Oh, right here at the bottom of the ads? Yeah, they're probably going to be for adults. Yeah, that's a good point. The ads are probably going to be more towards adults too. So that's a problem with being a kids app. And this is, and I know it's going to suck, but like I've seen apps do this and they do it pretty well where, look, on the paywall, let's pretend we're on the paywall again. You get this, and then you hit X, and then they show me an interstitial, and that does pretty well because it kind of says, hey, look, do you want to remove ads? And I'm kind of saying, no, I don't, by hitting the X. And so by showing me an ad there, maybe an interstitial or something else, that is a good, interesting ad model. So I'm speaking generally, not specifically for just kids, because it might just be like, kids might just be like, an ad, bye. But I'm sure a parent is probably using it to put the kid like, here, go to sleep, go to sleep. And this is what I'm imagining, Chaim. This is what I would be doing with my kids. Okay, I want to look at the second open because I do feel like a second open, this is partly what I said in my presentation, that promotions do work. And so there's one app that we saw that was really driving home. Like every time you open it, they're like special offer. They hit a paywall. Every single open, they hit you with the paywall. And I've heard from other developers that does work. So consider that, right? Like don't just wait for people to tap on this lock because they're not going to. If they see a lock, they know in my mind, I'm going to have to pay. So try showing, especially on Android, try showing this every time they open. And then we hit that X, maybe showing an ad. If I were an Android developer, putting this app just not for kids, that's what I would be doing from a monetization perspective. All right. Chaim, anything else you want to talk about with the app?
No. Again,
okay.
The work, they did a lot of good work. Just small adjustments, I think that will make a big difference.
Well, let me see if I can try to win. That was my best joke and I lost it. So round 2 for the dad jokes. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I can go first. I'm the winner.
All right. You won that last one. You're winning. So for the win, Chaim, for the win.
No, it's okay. Even we can get even. So it's mathematically. My phone.
Okay, go for it.
My phone. We are talking about phones. My phone won't stop proposing me because it keeps giving me rings.
Okay. Chaim, what do you call a military full of babies?
I don't know.
The infantry. All right. But Chaim, put S. If you thought my joke was better, put C. And then if Chaim wins this, Ollie drinks on me when we meet up. Okay, let's get into Michael. I see your question. But Chaim, if you can quickly go into 6 and 7 of the pitfalls to avoid, and then we'll say goodbye.
Number 6, self marketing. Choose your team carefully. Okay, check other, if they can show you previous work, if they can refer to other customers, what the customer think about that, very especially what the the customers price the most is not just the technical quality of the team, but also the communication channel. Okay, this will be a long process developing the app, so you need to be all the time in contact with the developer or the project manager. Okay, there is a lot of cases where the developer is very good, but it's not communicative, so you cannot coordinate what is you cannot know what is going on, okay, up to the last minute. So take in account that it's not just the technical ability to develop something, it's about the human characteristic of communicating well, okay, to coordinating, to be a serious person, okay. So pick the team or the developer very well is something that is not a simple task. Of course, that you can always have a b7dev.com. I take care of other projects. I'm the project manager, so self-promotion. Thank you very much. And the number 6 is don't be shy to show your idea. This is a common fear against the developers.
Yeah.
Don't be shy to show your idea to other people, even fellow appreneurs. Okay, so very basic principle. You develop the app, you market the app. Okay, if someone comes to steal your idea, they need to do exactly what you do, but better. Okay, in order to make a success, they need to do what you do, but better. If you imagine that all your friends, all your family, all your competitors will do exactly the same, I'm not sure. I mean, again, a Candy Crush took the classic game of, you pick the similar pieces, but did it better. Okay, but then being project manager is far harder than coding. Yeah, could be. Been there, done that, and suffered this from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. So they did it better. Okay, the iPad was not the first tablet that existed on the market. They just did it better. Okay, marketed better, did a better product. Okay, so everyone knows that they are working on a tablet. Everyone knows that they are working on the same product. Okay, just statistically speaking, we have the chance that 2 or 3 people around the world have the same idea, doing the same thing that you do at the same time. Tell me if all of them are succeeding just because the idea is the same. It's not. Okay, you need to develop, you need to check it, that works okay, you need to promote it, there is a lot of work, you need to market it, okay, and you need to manage that. So just the idea, I mean, it's just another idea. We listen to really brilliant ideas. I listened, for example, 10 years ago to ideas that they did not came to reality even today. Okay, so don't fear to show or to talk about your idea to other people in order to validate your idea, to get feedback about your idea. Okay, there is a big difference between having an idea and developing and make it work. Okay, there is a big difference on it. Don't be fearful. Okay, could be that someone takes a part of your idea and uses for something else. It's not the same. It's not about the same. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, look, check out B7Z, B, the letter B, the number 7, dev.com. Mary, our mutual friend, love Mary. Haven't seen her in a while, but she's left a great testimonial for Chaim and his team. And look, Chaim gave you some great advice that is not actually productive for his business, but because we want you to do well in the app business as well. Okay, let me get into some questions, final rounds. Captain Michael says, what advice do you have? Tips for a landing page website for beta testing? What other marketing channels do you recommend aside from direct marketing? So I don't know, Michael, if you're Captain Michael, by the way, if you're asking for like website builders, I use lead pages. Personally, I'm moving our entire website to Webflow. So think about that for just building websites. And then marketing channels directly. I mean, I think Facebook ads, especially if you're going to do a landing page, probably easier to track than you going to the iPhone. And then the other thing would be search ads, Google ads. So like literally putting in the keywords, top apps for X, Y, and Z, sending them to your landing page and getting them there. So anything you want to add for that, Chaim?
Yeah, I mean, if he's meaning about direct marketing, about paid marketing, today you have a lot of tools, influencers, TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram. You can talk about how good your app is, okay, and then they can go to A/B test with the landing page if that works.
I like it. Yeah, and lead pages you can do that directly for
Sure.
that. So yeah, you can do A/B testing on the fly through some of those platforms. All right, Luke says, what's the best way to get paid users onto your test flight? Luke, I'm not sure if you're asking if they've already paid and then you want to get them onto their test flight, or you want to get them to pay first and then put them on your test flight. So not sure, but let's answer the question that we
Yeah,
can.
if he can rephrase that, that will be
Yeah.
consistent.
I'm going to assume the latter because that's the only one I can answer. So the latter, you can build a landing page just like Captain Michael, get them to pay there, and then send them the test flight. Obviously, you kind of skirt through Apple. That's one way. And then for the other way, I'm not actually sure how to do it the other way. If they've already paid and you want to send them the test flight, I don't know how to do that. Is there a way to do that, Chaim? Is like, can you restore purchases on the test flight?
No, that's
Okay.
good. I mean, because you need to authorize at Apple or Google this specific user. So you need to do it manually in the worst case. So it's a lot.
Oh, he wants to pay for users to get to test. So there's betausers.com, I believe that's what it's called. You know,
We are doing that with if I can name that, Sarah will kill me, with Mingli. When you can post a link, that link is a beta group, I mean external testers group.
yeah.
And they just subscribe through the link and they receive the external version. Okay, for the external testers group, they will receive automatically that version. But still, we are on the test flight mode. It's not production mode. Okay.
Yeah,
But
and
you
I
have
think
10,000 beta testers for this.
yeah.
With
Yeah, Luke, I almost want the right beta testers too. Like, I don't want anybody using the app. So maybe even going after Facebook communities or Reddit communities. You know, we've had people, Chris, who made a quit smoking weed app through a Reddit community and built it from that and really, grew his revenues. But you can use communities. So I almost, I'm cheap, dude. So Ollie, hopefully you'll pay. I'm just kidding. But I would try to go after communities, whether it's on Reddit or Facebook, and go for that. All right, Chaim, let's go. Round two. Here we go. Steve, Chaim. That's 1-1. Steve, thank you, Ollie. Ollie's even voting for me. All right, cool. 2-1. 2-2. 3-2. 4-2. 5-2. 6-2. All right, Chaim, we got one more. So let's call that a Steve win. One more tiebreaker. Do you want to go first? This is for the entire coffee date with me and Ollie. If I win, Ali pays. If Chaim wins, I pay. Chaim, do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
All right, my friend.
How do trees do business?
How do priests do business?
Trees, the plants, trees.
Oh, how do trees do business? Okay.
Trees
how?
Business. Through logistics.
I saw that one too. I'm glad I didn't pick that one. I saw that one too. All right. I got one that I didn't use last week. All right, guys. I need everybody to vote. All right, please. Chaim, did you hear about the French cheese factory explosion? The brie was everywhere.
Wow.
All right, guys.
Good
that
one.
is it. Put S if you thought for me. Put C if you thought it was Chaim that won it, and Ollie and I will figure out a time to get together. I really am more energized after this. One of the things I'm going to end with too, the things that I learned from the event yesterday was, look, there's opportunities for growth, and kind of like what Chaim said, like I met some people just making ridiculous apps, right? Like ideas you never heard about, and it's indies, right? They're just small guys like us. And so the opportunities still exist. I think the opportunities for me are, from what we've learned, is people who activate a trial time and then cancel that trial, that win back rate, Revenue Cat said this, David from Revenue Cat, is about 5 to 6%. So most of the time, they're not going to resubscribe if they've activated the trial. So it speaks to volumes of how to try to get people to activate a trial, how to use promotions without trials. I think that's a big opportunity there. And I'm really focused, for me anyways, from a monetization standpoint, because that's how I think about growth these days, is how do I maximize every little funnel, and not just like the onboarding to paywall funnel, but like from people who tap start trial and then hit cancel, or people who start a trial, how do I make sure they don't cancel that trial too? Because getting them back in, super hard there. So anyways, anything you want to end with, Chaim?
No, that's okay. That,
Love it. Okay, Chaim,
yeah,
let's tally up the
you,
scores. Here we go.
you talk about the breed. Definitely, like
All right.
I'm still recovering myself.
Well, nobody likes the debris joke. Matthew gave you Chaim. So Chaim's winning 1-2 for me. Thank you, Yash. 1-3. He's like Captain Michael says, I would support Chaim. 2-3. 2-4. Oh, 4. Look it. Adrian, you're just cold. You're just like sticking it in my heart and just twisting like multiple times too. You don't just twist once. You just go 360 rotation. All right. Well, congratulations, Ali. Let's meet up. Coffee's on me. And then let's see. Nikhil says, I want to release my Android apps on iOS. Should I? Oh, okay. This is a great question for you, Chaim. I want to release my Android apps on iOS. Should I use React Native or Swift for that?
Either way, the thing is that with React Native, you will have two versions: Android, what you already have for Android, and the new export for iOS. It's up to you. I mean, both of them you need to start from scratch. So I will check what is the cheapest way for you to get either a Swift developer or React developer for that. Okay, it's up to you.
I like it. Okay. Once again, guys, it is B, the letter B, the number 7, dev.com. It is also linked up into the show notes along with Chaim's LinkedIn if you want to say hi and connect with them there. But if you're looking for an app development firm that I know, trust, been using them since 2013. Chaim's been a longtime friend since then. Almost 10 years, Chaim. Almost 10-year anniversary for us. It is the letter B, the number 7.
On my skull.
I'm sorry?
I had hair on my skull back then.
Yeah, we should. I should look at your photos from back then too. Adrian even says, "Hey, I'm a client of Chaim's." Right there.
Yeah. Celtic.
That's why he's like twisting me, man, twisting me. All right, thanks, Luke. Thanks for joining. Hey guys, next week we're gonna have Niels from Singular. So they are a mobile attribution partner, and we're gonna talk all about having the right infrastructure for your app to scale properly. So I even work with a lot of big names, that don't have the right marketing infrastructure. So we don't know. We're getting all these elements. We don't know what's happening past that. So we know how much they're getting. This marketing channel is performing coming from a cost per install, but is that really a profitable channel? So we're going to talk all about how do you make sure your marketing infrastructure is set up properly so that you can scale. So join us every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And all right, Captain, since you're the captain, do you think we should trust VCs? Sometimes they have competing apps in their portfolio.
You can trust no one. Basically, they are seeing hundreds of ideas every month. So VCs is like, yeah, no. I mean, another thing is their business for VCs is to finance other people apps and not to build those from themselves. Maybe they can take some idea of what you brought to other apps, similar apps. I will search before about the VC if they have something similar to what you are offering. Okay, yeah. But as trusting is like it's a gray area. Okay, so I mean, you can trust me when we develop the app that we won't sell the information or the process to anyone else. But for a venture capitalist, I cannot. I mean, everyone is different. I know very known, reputed, and very serious capitalists, but I mean, it's a big word. Okay, so I will always take it with a grain of salt, doing some research before what they are having into their own portfolio. Okay, but for sure, the only sure thing is develop fast, release, and then test and improve yourself. And the only safe or sure thing that I know.
All right. Here's what I would say, Captain. I would say, look, we work with competing apps too. It's not like, there we try to push for both, right? It's not like we're trying to root one over the other. So if it's a trustworthy VC, then they're gonna make bets. Maybe I'm sure there's some VCs out there, venture capitalists who invested in Lyft, who invested in Uber, and they're just like, look, there's a market for both. You guys, there will be some winner. Well, I want to win with both too. And so I don't think it's such a bad thing that there's some competing apps. Maybe they're just making a bet on the market versus the idea or the company, and maybe that's the case. But look, we're all in it to win. So I think trust depends on the person, right? So
another point is, Steve, how much time it will take for him, for a venture capitalist, honestly, to see that you release the app, download the app, see what you do, and say, okay, I want this for another app. I mean, it's completely, I mean, it's not sure way to prove this. Okay, life is like this. I mean, they are taking ideas from each other. You will do it with your touch. They will do it with their own focus. I mean, the only way to move ahead is move ahead. It's not I mean, if you are feeling that he will take me the idea and the other one will take me the idea and this will copy me, you cannot move on with this fear. Okay, it's just stopping you from doing anything. And trust me, I listen to ideas, a lot of ideas every week. You will have another great idea in the next week, the next month, the next year, after you gain or you fail, or okay. I mean, the brain is always working. You cannot stop the brain to work. You will get another great idea. Go for it, do it, or just scrap it and move ahead. Okay, it's not you will have just one idea in your life. Okay, you will have ideas every day. I mean, every time that you take a short.
I gotta stop you. We get it. I gotta stop you. You're going too long. We gotta go. All right, we gotta go. You have multiple ideas. Don't worry. I agree with Chaim on that. All right. Sorry. Ali says, thanks. This was an awesome episode. Of course, it was awesome. Drinks on me. And then Ricardo, I love his thing. Sorry, Steve. Just get the man his drink. I love it. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Chaim. Next week, we're going to have Singular. Join us every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Have a great weekend, guys. I hope to do more in-person events of my own. But if I can't do that, I want to do more of this in 2022 and definitely the rest of 2022 and definitely 2023. So I hope to see you guys in person. Just re-energized after being around so many great entrepreneurs. So hope to see you guys in the next year. All right. I'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend. Bye.